Shalom Israel, and welcome to another edition of Yasharal's 20-minute breakdown, where I'll attempt to break down the scriptures within 20 minutes. But first and foremost, as always, you know how we do. We give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rakah, Kadash, and the Yakims and the elders in the highways and byways pushing this word in truth and sincerity. All praises. And the elder women teaching the younger women. All praises to you too. And the camps and the solo brothers going out there, making videos, edifying the body, pushing the truth according to scriptures. All praises. Now, I want to quickly just touch on something. This is just a quick lesson I want to do, actually. Maybe one of my quickest to date, who knows. But just want to touch on the Christian church, because the Christian church has been set up to keep us in sin. Basically, that's the long and short of it. And you know, the funny thing is, anytime you talk to a Christian, one who goes to and dwells in a Christian establishment, whether they've been there 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or even if you speak to the pastor, one thing I always notice about Christians is that they never want to answer any questions according to the Bible. That's one thing I've noticed. They never answer any question according to the Bible. If you're quite happy to stand there and just let them tell you what's in the Bible, they're happy. But soon as you start questioning anything that they say, next thing, we don't argue. And they're ready to hightail it out of there. They don't want to actually open the Bible and read it. They want to tell you what's in it, and you must accept what they say. And if you don't, they say you're contentious and you're arguing, when they are supposed to be advocates for Yahushua, the one they call Christ. They're supposed to be advocate, and they're supposed to go in the Bible and prove what they're saying. But they don't want to do that. Anytime you ask listen, I've been there. Anytime you ask a question, because a lot of them don't even know the answer to the question. They want to tell you what they want to tell you, and you must accept it, end of story. But the Bible tells you, which is my opening verse, which I'm going to go to, is 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 15. There, the Bible commands you to always be ready to give an answer to, any question you're being asked, paraphrasing, but I'll get to the actual verse and I'll read it verbatim. But the Bible is actually telling you that you must always be ready to give an answer. And this is one thing the Christian church don't do. They want to preach to you, but they don't want to actually teach you anything, or actually answer any questions that you may have. You might be struggling that, this just doesn't make sense. Don't worry about that. Just believe it. That's how they operate. They don't want to actually read you the verse and then read a verse to prove that's what that verse is saying. They can't do it. Not only they don't want to do that, they can't do that. Because why? They're not well studied in the Bible. They're not well versed in the Bible. They're not studied. They've been given that same doctrine that we've been given through slavery up to today, and they follow it through. They just tell you stuff, because that's what the slave master used to do. He never used to actually open the Bible and read it to you. He would, if he did read a verse, he would only read a little caption, and then he'll tell you what it means. And you had to accept that. And that's the Christian church today. They'll read John 3:16, and they'll tell you that God loves everybody. He sent his son to say, whoever wants to come to Christ and whoever believes. That's how they explain it. But they won't go to a verse to prove that's what that verse is actually saying. And I did a test actually at my workplace. What I actually did, I used a simple one. I found, because in my workplace, there's a lot of Christians. So I went to Christians and I was asking them 3 questions. I said, if they answer 3 questions correctly, I'll give them £10. I took the money and I put it on the table. So they thought, great, easy £10. What's the question? I said 3 questions pertaining to the Bible. I said, answer these 3 questions correctly and I'll give you the £10. So my first question was to them was, can you tell me John 3:16? Just without going into the Bible, read John 3, tell me what it says verbatim. Every one of them said it word for word, verbatim, without an error. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. They all said it word for word. So good, I said, that's 1. I said 2 more questions. Get them right, this money is yours. Second question I asked them was, what does that verse mean? Now, here's where it got funny. Because what they didn't go into the Bible to tell me what it means. Yeah, because remember, my first question was to tell me what that verse means without looking in the Bible. Second question, I just asked them, what does John 3:16 mean? What you just quoted, what does it mean? Everybody gave me their own understanding, their own opinion. Not one went into the Bible and precept upon precept and showed me what it meant by using Bible verses, that's how you're supposed to do it. So they gave me their big long speech about how he loved us so much that he sent his Son to die for everybody on the planet, whoever wanted salvation. I got all different, but not one went into the Bible to prove what they're saying. And my last and final question to them was, tell me, what does John 3:14 say? Just 2 verses above 3:16. Now, the reason why I asked that, because if you don't know John 3:14, you don't understand John 3:16. That was my catch-22 on them. Now, everybody I asked could not tell me what John chapter 3:14 says. John chapter 3 verse 14. Nobody could tell me what it says. They all wanted to now go into the Bible and have a look, but they couldn't say it off the top of their head, which that verse says, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. That's what that verse says. Nobody knew it from the top of their head. And I just proved to them, I said, see, that's indoctrination. That's what you have. They were gobsmacked. But anyway, I'm going to start my timer. It's just got a few scriptures I want to run through quickly. I'm going to start my timer. I'm going to start off with 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 15. And a few more scriptures, and that's it. So my timer in 3, 2, 1, boom, we're away. Let's go there. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 15, and it reads, but sanctify Yahweh our power in your hearts, and be ready. Hear this, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. So you see, that's the verse I want to start with, showing you that the Bible commands us, true believers, and true worshippers and true keepers of the law, statutes and commandments, that we must always be ready to give an answer to every man that asks us the reason of the hope that is in us with meekness and with fear. How you do it with meekness and with fear in the Most High. So you're keeping his commandments. So you go to the law. That's what that Bible, that's what that verse is showing you. That's how you do it. Yeah? Watch this. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15 to 16. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Here it says a workman. A workman needs tools. Never answer a biblical question without going to the Bible. That's a lesson for you Christians. Yeah? Never answer a question from the top of your head. Yeah? Go to the Bible and read it. That way it's not your own words, it's not your own understanding, and it's not your own thoughts. Watch verse 16. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 16. but shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. And that's what you get from Christians, because the more they babble, the more they put their foot in it, and they skew way left, way off the mark, giving you a total different understanding to what was actually written and what was actually meant when it was written. Yeah, totally. Watch this, yeah? Because one thing with Christians, they give you this big, long speech and this way fairy tale story. Watch this. Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verses 8 into 9. And it reads, Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 8. Let thy speech be short. Hear that? Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Now that's how you answer any biblical questions. Go to the scriptures, you read it, and then you just, give the sense of that what you just read, not adding to it or subtracting from it. Yeah. Watch this. Yeah. I'll take it from the top again. Ecclesiasticus 32, verse 8. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue. Verse 9. If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, use not many words. So don't try to make yourself equal to somebody, who has more knowledge than you. Don't try to go like, oh, I know a thing. And if you don't know, say you don't know. Then now you can be taught. It's that simple. Watch this. 1 Timothy. Going to jump to quickly. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 20. Listen to this. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 20. And it reads, O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust. So keep what's committed, and this is to Timothy, but this can refer to us too. Keep what's committed to thy trust. Listen to this. Avoid profane and vain babblings. Here we go again. See that? Avoid profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. So some people like to try to go to science, like they try to say the world about the Big Bang Theory and all this. Go to Genesis. You'll get all your answers there from Genesis throughout. Forget the science and this Big Bang Theory and this evolution. The Bible explains everything, yeah? That's what the Bible's showing you. Because when we go to the Bible, any question we're asked, when we go to the Bible, this is what we're supposed to do. Any question we're asked, like biblical questions, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. What is good? The law of the Lord is perfect, yeah? And even it says in, is it Romans 7, where the law is holy, just, and good. Yeah, I'll put that on the screen. Can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's Romans 7 verse 12, if I remember correctly. I think it's Romans 7 verse 12. But I'll put it on the screen, showing you what is good. The laws are just, perfect, and good. Paraphrasing, but I'll put it on the screen so you can read it verbatim. Yeah? Verse 22 of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Watch this, verse 22. Abstain from all appearance of evil. So anything that's against the Most High, refrain from it. So babbling is against the Most High. Refrain from it. Using your own understanding and not going to the scriptures for the correct understanding. Abstain from that. You see that? That's what we should be doing, yeah? I'm going to jump to quickly Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 15 to 17. Watch this. Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 15. He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith, but the hypocrite will be offended thereat. And that's the thing about those hypocrites, especially in the Christian church. As soon as you start bringing out the law and things they must do, they're offended. Oh, no man can keep the law, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. It was put there to show us how far we have fallen. That's the things they say. They're offended because they don't want to keep any laws, because now it means they have to change their total way of thinking and their total way of life and come back to Yahweh Shai, in keeping the commandments, come back to Yahweh through Yahweh Shai, Salakia, and keeping them commandments. They don't want to be under no laws. They want to do as they like and still get salvation. That's what they're on. Yeah? Verse 16, watch this. Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 16. They that fear Yahweh shall find judgment, and shall kindle justice as a light. Yeah? Watch this. Verse 17 is key. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. And that's them Christian pastors, the priests, the congregation, because the church teaches you to sin and keeps you there. Yeah? So they can't be reproved because all they got to do, according to them, is live by faith and believe. But there's nothing else to do. So they go to church on Sunday. They say that's the Lord's Day, which is the first day of the week, like where we dwell. So, they're keeping them in sin. They say you can eat all foods, just pray over it and eat all foods, yeah? All these things is keeping you in sin. So the church, it was set up to keep the real Israelites in sin, because you find the real Israelites are the ones that pack out these churches, the blacks, the Hispanics, and the Native Americans and the Seminole Indians, and them, our people, my people, we pack them churches. So they have to keep us in sin, because the day we wake up and the elect is sealed, this kingdom is falling, it's coming right down. And Yahushua is coming back with judgment and the new kingdom set up where righteousness where righteousness will dwell. The powers that be doesn't want that. They want their rule to continue. So the only way they can keep their rule is by keeping the real Israelites in sin and not letting us come back to the law, statute, commandments, and faith in Yahushua. Well, that was just a quick lesson I wanted to do on that. So I hope I made sense, and I hope you got something with that. This is the first time I'm actually doing a lesson without actually timing out. So this is Yasharallah. We out.